What you're about to watch is literally the exact reason why we have the Second Amendment.
In a former school building in southeast Ukraine, military officers are training local residents in urban warfare.
Но это то, о чем надо было договариваться с самого начала.
Ми їх більше навчаємо тактики ведення бою в приміщенні, тобто відпрацювання захвату всієї будівлі. Вони займаються своїм життям, працюють на заводах, працюють вчителями, економістами, бухгалтерами. Але якщо нам знадобиться і ці люди прийдуть до нас захищати нашу країну, вони вже будуть знати, що їм робити.
The Ukrainian government aims to recruit around 130,000 civilians to bolster its defense if a war with Russia breaks out. The military will rely on them to fight. For some of these civilians, this is the first step in becoming part of what the government calls the Territorial Defense Force.
На ощупь, все руками, в темноте, освещение слабое, должен
Все правильно, все верно.
Именно память руками должна быть, чувствовать, где пота, где защелкнуло, где на место
Можна
стал.
опять достать і поставити.
Так точно. Це гражданська людина, вона повинна руками ощутити кожну, щоб ця деталь повинна працювати тільки так. З другого разу вже краще.
Запропонували з дітьми прийти, тому я вважаю, що мій син повинен розуміти, в чому справа йде військова. Приїхали і все подобається.
Volunteers also learn how to apply first aid and to identify explosives.
Противопехотная заградительная мина ОЗМ-72. Одно из самых подлых творений Советского Союза.
Мне кажется, человек невозможно быть подготовленным. Поэтому всегда и учимся. Ситуации бывают разные.
While untested in battle, these men and women are determined to defend their city.
The biggest lie told about the Second Amendment is that it's about hunting.
Okay?
And
then
hunters
you
would
can
say,
argue what a lot is. Okay, let's pick it. Let's say 3. If you haven't hit the deer with 3 shots, you're a pretty lousy shot. That deer deserves to get away. If you have a big magazine, you'll solve your problem. You still have to pull a trigger, but if it's 30 bullets or 20 bullets or 10 bullets before you run out, I would suggest the deer is, God wants that deer to live.
According to gun owners, what you've just described would ban most guns that hunters use today.
If that's what they're using, for God's sakes, why don't they use dynamite?
The Second Amendment is about defense, whether it be defense against a wild animal, another person, or a tyrannical government, foreign or domestic. When you point stuff like this out, they'll turn around and say that the Second Amendment said the militia. Which one is it then? In one breath, the Second Amendment is about hunting. In the other breath, it's about the militia. So the Second Amendment was written to protect the militia's ability to hunt deer? No, that's stupid. Situations like what you just watched in this first video is the exact reason why we have the Second Amendment. So instead of scrambling last minute to get people trained on basics like how to operate a rifle, imagine having an entire population of people with not only their own guns, but the ability to shoot them effectively because they've been already doing it and using them and shooting them for decades. In 1791, when the Second Amendment was ratified, the word militia meant ordinary citizens, not some amorphous group of beings that existed apart from the military or the citizenry. And well-regulated didn't mean regulated by the government. It meant well-armed and well-functioning. That is why the last line of the Second Amendment says, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Because the only way the people can stand up against a tyrannical government is to be well armed enough to effectively fight back against what is attacking them. If the thing attacking them is a tyrannical government, it's kind of hard to use the weapons that you would need to do this when the only people who have those weapons is the tyrannical government you're defending yourself against. People gawk at the idea that the American government would ever become so tyrannical that the people would need to fight back against it, and that the Second Amendment is unnecessary. But have you ever stopped to think that maybe the reason it's never happened is because we have the Second Amendment? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think the militia is. If and or when the day comes where someone is threatening the safety of you, your family, or your country, in that moment, whether you like it or not, you are the militia. And you're going to be damn glad that you had a gun to protect yourself with instead of running to the government asking for one last minute. That's even if you get the chance to do that, or the very government you're asking for a gun isn't the same government you're trying to defend yourself against. Think about it. You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.